Hello, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to another exciting video update on America's team. It's time for our regular dive into the latest developments surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. Without further ado, let's jump straight into what's been going on with the team and what lies ahead for the 2025 season. This offseason is already shaping up to be a pivotal one. And today we're going to break down some important moves and roster decisions that could influence the Cowboys' future trajectory. Let's begin with the biggest headline of the offseason so far, which revolves around the Cowboys' quarterback situation. The Dallas Cowboys made a bold move to kick off the 2025 offseason with an eye-opening decision in the quarterback room that has left fans and analysts alike questioning the direction the team will take. Over the past 6 months, and especially in the last week of the season, the Cowboys' quarterback situation has been a hot topic of conversation. Of course, the most significant headline of this period is Dak Prescott's contract. Just before the season began, Prescott made history by becoming the highest-paid player in the history of the NFL. While this was a major and well-deserved recognition for Prescott, it has also set the stage for some interesting roster decisions, particularly in the backup quarterback position. But there's more to the quarterback drama than just Prescott's contract. One of the most confusing and heavily scrutinized decisions by the Cowboys front office was the trade for Trey Lance back in August 2023. Lance, the former number 3 overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, was acquired by the Cowboys for a 4th-round draft pick. At the time, many were left wondering about the reasoning behind the deal, as it was unclear how Lance would fit into the team's quarterback plans. While some speculated that the Cowboys saw Lance as a potential long-term option at quarterback, others believed that the acquisition was simply a strategic move to apply pressure on Prescott during his contract negotiations. However, this gamble failed to pan out as the Cowboys had hoped. Prescott, ever the professional, called the team's bluff and ended up securing a contract that solidified his status as the highest-paid player in the NFL. Meanwhile, Lance, who was supposed to be a backup quarterback with high potential, found himself struggling to earn a meaningful role. Despite the Cowboys investing in his potential, Lance was unable to unseat Cooper Rush as the backup quarterback. This became especially evident when Prescott suffered a season-ending hamstring injury, and it was Rush, not Lance, who was called upon to step in and manage the offense. In fact, Lance's time in Dallas was largely uneventful. He spent 2 seasons with the Cowboys and started just 1 game, the Week 18 season finale against the Washington Commanders, which ended in a disappointing loss. That single start was a clear reminder that the trade for Lance was ultimately a waste of resources for the Cowboys. As the 2024 season came to a close, both Cooper Rush and Trey Lance found themselves entering free agency, leaving the Cowboys with a significant question mark behind Prescott. The team had no reliable backup quarterback under contract, which is a critical issue for any NFL team, especially one with championship aspirations. In an effort to address this issue, the Cowboys made an interesting and perhaps unexpected move this past Monday. The team signed journeyman quarterback Will Grier to a contract extension. Grier, who had spent time on the Cowboys practice squad in 2021 and 2022 and made an appearance on the roster during Week 18 of the 2024 season, was given another chance to secure a spot on the team. This contract extension is a minimum deal, meaning Grier is not guaranteed a roster spot, but it does signal that the Cowboys have some level of faith in him as a potential backup option. Grier may not be a future star, but he has been a familiar face in the quarterback room and brings valuable experience and depth to the position. Interestingly, Grier's return means that Trey Lance's days in Dallas may be numbered. The Cowboys are highly unlikely to bring Lance back in free agency, as the trade for him was already a costly gamble that didn't pay off. The Cowboys' decision to sign Grier and potentially move forward with him as a backup suggests they're ready to part ways with Lance. As for Cooper Rush, another free agent this offseason, it will be interesting to see if the Cowboys can afford to re-sign him after his stellar performance in 2024. Rush has shown that he is one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league, and his play may have priced him out of Dallas' budget. It's clear that the Cowboys need to figure out their backup quarterback situation before the Dallas Cowboys offseason plans and preparations for the 2025 NFL Draft. The team enters the offseason with a number of important decisions to make. The 2024 season ended on a disappointing note, as the Cowboys were handed a 23-9 loss by the Washington Commanders, leaving them with a subpar 7-10 record. With a lackluster finish to the season, the Cowboys now hold the 12th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. What they decide to do with this pick will have significant ramifications for the future of the franchise. The team has a lot of work to do this offseason, from addressing coaching staff questions to figuring out which players to target in free agency. But one of the most pressing matters is improving the roster through the draft. Let's take a closer look at the Cowboys' primary roster needs heading into the 2025 offseason, along with some potential first-round targets who could help fill these gaps. One of the most pressing needs for the team is at defensive tackle. While Moss Smith is expected to return, the potential departure of Osa Odighizuwa via free agency could create a significant hole in the defensive line. If Odighizuwa leaves, the Cowboys will need to find a new starting three technique. One player to keep an eye on is Derek Harmon, a standout defensive tackle from Oregon. Harmon has seen his draft stock rise significantly throughout the year, and after transferring from Michigan State, he has become one of the top defensive tackle prospects in the 2025 draft. Known for his ability to play all three downs and excel as both a pass rusher and run stopper, Harmon could be a perfect fit for the Cowboys if they need to replace Odighizuwa. The cornerback position is another area of concern for the Cowboys. While Darren Bland has emerged as a solid option at cornerback, Trayvon Diggs is coming off of surgery, and players like Kane Carson and Josh Butler are working their way back from injuries. The Cowboys could be in danger of losing Jordan Lewis to free agency, which would further weaken the secondary. In the first round of the draft, the Cowboys could target Siobhan Revel Jr. from East Carolina, a physical and dynamic cornerback. Despite suffering an early-season ACL injury, Revel's potential remains undeniable. He possesses rare size, length, and fluidity for a cornerback, with the ability to make plays on the ball and excel in both man and zone coverage. If his medicals check out, Revel could become an immediate starter and upgrade the Cowboys' secondary. At running back, the Cowboys are in a relatively stable position with Deuce Vaughn returning, but they may face the loss of Rico Dowdle. If the Cowboys decide to address the position early in the draft, Caleb Johnson from Iowa could be a strong option. Johnson has the ideal size and skill set that NFL teams covet in an RB1, and he's known for his ability to be a three-down back. He's a patient runner who processes information quickly, reads blocks well, and has an impressive burst through the line of scrimmage. If the Cowboys opt to trade down in the draft, Johnson could be a perfect target to add depth and versatility to the offense. On the offensive line, the Cowboys could face a tough decision regarding key players like Zach Martin and Terrence Steele, both of whom could be potential salary cap casualties. If Martin and Steele are lost, Marcus Ma from Purdue could be an ideal first-round target. Ma is a highly athletic and versatile offensive lineman capable of playing either guard or tackle. His skill set and agility make him a perfect fit for the Cowboys, who may need to retool the offensive line for the future. Finally, the wide receiver position is another area that could be addressed in the 2025 draft. With CeeDee Lamb expected to return, the Cowboys could still look to add depth and talent to their receiving core. One player they might consider is Luther Burden III from Missouri, who is widely regarded as one of the top wide receivers in the draft class. Burden's speed, physicality, and ability to make plays after the catch make him an ideal complement to Lamb, giving the Cowboys a dynamic 1-2 punch at receiver. He's particularly dangerous in short to intermediate routes, where he can rack up yards after the catch and serve as a reliable target for the quarterback. As the Cowboys head into the 2025 offseason, there is no shortage of challenges ahead. But with smart decisions in free agency, the draft, and roster construction, the team has the opportunity to make significant improvements and compete at a high level next season. Stay tuned for more updates as we continue to follow America's team through this exciting and pivotal period.